Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and instantly everyone pays attention? They don't have to demand respect, they just get it naturally. It's not about how much money they have or the job title they hold. It's something deeper, something rooted in the way they carry themselves and treat others. One thing is clear, respect isn't something you can force. It's something you earn. And the good news is, no matter the situation, it's never too late to start. Whether you're looking to strengthen your relationships, grow in your career, or simply feel more confident in yourself, Confucius's wisdom can help you do just that. His strategies have stood the test of time for over 2,500 years. You've probably heard his name Confucius before. He was a philosopher from ancient China whose teachings were so powerful that they continue to inspire millions around the world today. But this wisdom isn't about memorizing quotes or diving into heavy philosophy. They are practical lessons, real, simple steps you can take right now to become someone people admire, trust, and respect. So stay with me because we're going to unpack life-changing lessons from Confucius that could transform the way people see you and how you see yourself. 1. The power of humility. Let's start with something that might surprise you: humility. Now, when we think about respect, humility isn't usually the first thing that comes to mind. People often assume that to be respected, you need to show strength, power, or even a little bit of ego. But Confucius would completely disagree. He believed that true respect begins with humility. Here's what he taught: humility is the foundation of all virtues. In other words, if you want others to respect you, you first need to show respect to them. And that means treating everyone with dignity, no matter their background, title, or position. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who seemed arrogant? Someone who acted like they were better than everyone else? How did that make you feel? Most likely, you didn't feel much respect for them. On the other hand, think of someone who listens when you speak, values your opinion, and doesn't feel the need to constantly prove how great they are. That's humility, and it's a quality people naturally admire. The best part? Humility doesn't mean making yourself small or weak. It simply means knowing your strengths but not flaunting them. It means being confident without being arrogant. When you approach others with a sense of humility, you're showing that you value them as human beings. And in return, they're more likely to value and respect you. So how can you practice humility in your life? Start by listening more. When you're in a conversation, focus on what the other person is saying instead of planning what you're going to say next. Avoid the need to constantly talk about yourself or your accomplishments. And most importantly, recognize that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. People respect those who are open to learning and growing. 2. The Golden Rule. This is a lesson that's so simple, yet so powerful. The Golden Rule. Confucius said it like this: do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. It's a straightforward idea, but think about how much better the world would be if we all actually lived by it. This teaching is all about empathy and fairness. Confucius believed that respect starts when we treat others the way we want to be treated. It's not just about being kind, it's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and asking, how would I feel if I were in their position? For example, let's say you're frustrated with a coworker. You could snap at them or talk behind their back, but would you want someone to treat you that way? Probably not. Instead, take a step back and approach the situation with empathy. Maybe they're dealing with something you don't know about. When you treat them with understanding, you create an environment of respect, and people notice that. The Golden Rule also applies to the small, everyday moments that we often overlook. Holding the door for someone, saying thank you, or even just smiling at a stranger can make a huge difference. These little acts of kindness show that you value others, and that's the kind of behavior that earns respect in return. But here's the catch. Living by the Golden Rule takes practice. It's not always easy to treat others with fairness, especially when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. The key is to pause and remind yourself that every interaction is an opportunity to show respect. When you live this way, people will not only respect you, they'll also feel inspired to treat others better too. Remember, the Golden Rule isn't just a nice idea, it's a way of life. And the more you practice it, the more you'll notice how it changes the way people respond to you. Respect, after all, is a two-way street. When you give it, you get it. 3. Speak with purpose. Confucius said, silence is a true friend who never betrays. This doesn't mean you should stay silent all the time, but it's a reminder to choose your words carefully. Speaking with purpose is one of the fastest ways to earn respect because it shows wisdom, self-control, and consideration for others. We live in a world where everyone has an opinion, and it's easy to talk without thinking. But Confucius teaches us to pause and ask ourselves, is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it kind? Is it helpful? When you speak with intention, people listen because they know your words carry weight. For example, in a group setting, there's always someone who talks just to fill the silence. They ramble, interrupt, or dominate the conversation. Now think of someone who speaks less often but always adds value when they do. They're thoughtful, clear, and respectful. Who do you respect more? Chances are it's the person who speaks with purpose. This lesson is also about listening. Confucius believed that listening is just as important as speaking. When you truly listen to someone, you show that you value their thoughts and feelings. This builds trust and makes others more likely to respect you in return. So, how can you practice this? Before you speak, take a moment to think. Ask yourself if your words will help the situation or just add noise. When you do speak, be clear and concise. And don't forget to listen, really listen to what others have to say. Thoughtful communication isn't just a skill, it's a sign of wisdom and respect. 4. Embrace lifelong learning. Confucius once said, "The man who asks a question is a fool for a moment. The man who does not ask is a fool for life." It's a simple but powerful reminder that curiosity and a willingness to learn are keys to personal growth and earning respect. Let's be real, no one knows everything. We're all learning as we go, but some people close themselves off to new ideas because they're afraid of looking ignorant or weak. Confucius believed that this mindset was a huge mistake. He taught that asking questions, seeking knowledge, and admitting what you don't know are signs of strength, not weakness. When you show others that you're open to learning, you earn their respect because it shows humility and a commitment to growth. Think about how this applies to modern life. Imagine you're at work and there's a new skill you need to learn. Instead of pretending you already know it or avoiding the task altogether, you take the initiative to ask for help or find resources to improve. Not only will people notice your dedication, but they'll also appreciate your honesty and determination. Lifelong learning isn't just about formal education or skills at work. It's a mindset you can apply to every area of life. Whether it's learning from a mistake, listening to someone with a different perspective, or picking up a new hobby, every opportunity to learn is a chance to grow. And when people see that you're constantly improving yourself, they'll respect you for your drive and curiosity. One practical way to embrace lifelong learning is to surround yourself with people who inspire you. Spend time with those who challenge your ideas and encourage you to think differently. Read books, take courses, or simply ask questions. The more you open yourself up to learning, the more confident and capable you'll become, and that confidence will naturally attract respect from others. 5. Honor your word and keep promises. In a world full of empty words, the people who keep their promises stand out. Confucius believed that trust is the foundation of respect. He taught that a person's word should be as strong as stone. If you say you'll do something, do it. Think about it. Who do you respect more? Someone who always follows through or someone who makes excuses? Promises are easy to make but hard to keep. Confucius knew that a person's character is revealed in the small things. If you can't be trusted in minor matters, how can anyone trust you with bigger responsibilities? A man without his word is like a cart without wheels. Your word is your reputation. Break it too many times, and people stop believing in you. But when you honor your commitments, even when it's inconvenient, you earn something that can't be bought: respect. Confucius also warned against making careless promises. If you're not sure you can keep a commitment, don't make it. He believed that speaking less but following through means more than saying much and doing nothing. In the end, actions will always speak louder than words. So if you want to be respected, start here. Mean what you say and say only what you mean. 6. Seek justice and fairness. The world isn't perfect. Some people have more power, more wealth, and more opportunities than others. But Confucius believed that true respect is earned by treating people fairly, no matter their status. Justice to him wasn't about punishment, it was about balance. He taught that a wise person stands for what is right, even when it's hard. That doesn't mean rushing into conflict or forcing opinions on others. It means leading with integrity, choosing fairness over favoritism, and making decisions that benefit everyone, not just yourself. He also believed that leaders must be just. If a ruler treats people with fairness, the people will follow willingly. But if a ruler abuses power, people will rebel. The same is true in daily life. If you treat others with fairness and respect, they will respect you in return. But fairness isn't just about how you treat others, it's also about how you judge yourself. Confucius taught that before we criticize others, we must look within. Are we holding ourselves to the same standards we expect from others? Are we being just in our own actions? A fair person is not easily swayed by emotions, personal gain, or public opinion. They listen before judging, think before reacting, and do what's right even when no one is watching. That kind of integrity is rare, and it commands deep respect. 7. Lead by example. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. In other words, actions speak louder than words. If you want people to respect you, show them who you are through what you do, not just what you say. We've all encountered people who talk a big game but don't follow through. Maybe it's a manager who preaches teamwork but doesn't contribute to the group, or a friend who promises to always be there but disappears when you need them. It's hard to respect someone who doesn't live up to their own words. On the flip side, think about someone who quietly works hard, stays consistent, and lets their actions speak for themselves. These are the people we admire because they lead with integrity. They don't need to boast or seek validation. They earn respect simply by being dependable and authentic. Leading by example doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It's about being consistent and staying true to your values. For example, if you value honesty, be honest even when it's difficult. If you value kindness, show kindness to everyone, not just when it's convenient. When people see that your actions align with your principles, they'll trust and respect you. This lesson is especially important for anyone in a position of influence, whether it's as a parent, teacher, manager, or friend. People look up to those who lead by example, and your behavior sets the tone for how others act around you. If you want to inspire respect, start by holding yourself to the standards you expect from others. So here's a question to think about. Are your actions reflecting the kind of person you want to be? If the answer is yes, keep going. If not, it's never too late to make a change. Leading by example isn't about perfection, it's about progress, and that's something everyone can respect. 8. Cultivate patience. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. It's a simple idea, but it carries so much wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, we often want instant results, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal goals. But Confucius reminds us that the journey matters more than the speed. Respect comes when people see your ability to stay steady and focused, even when things take time. Patience is powerful because it shows resilience. Imagine someone working toward a big goal, like starting a business or mastering a skill. They face setbacks, delays, and challenges, but they keep moving forward. The kind of determination earns admiration because it's rare. Most people give up too soon. But when you're patient, you prove that you have the strength to endure and the wisdom to trust the process. So, how do you cultivate patience? Start by setting realistic expectations for yourself. Understand that good things take time, and setbacks are part of the journey. When you feel frustrated, take a deep breath and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Patience isn't just about long-term goals, it also matters in everyday interactions. For example, being patient with someone who's learning, struggling, or even annoying you shows emotional maturity. It sends the message that you value people and relationships more than quick fixes. Over time, this kind of patience earns deep respect because it reflects kindness and self-control. 9. Practice self-discipline. To put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must cultivate our personal life. What he's saying is clear. True change begins within. If you want to inspire others or earn respect, you need to master yourself first. Self-discipline is about being in control of your actions, emotions, and habits. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. When you're disciplined, people notice. They respect the fact that you can stay focused, keep your promises, and rise above distractions. Think about how this applies to everyday life. For instance, if you're trying to build a healthier lifestyle, self-discipline means sticking to your exercise routine, even when it's tough. If you're working toward a career goal, it means prioritizing what matters instead of procrastinating. When people see your commitment, they're inspired by your example. But self-discipline isn't just about external habits, it's also about emotional control. Imagine a heated argument where someone loses their temper and starts yelling. Now imagine someone else who stays calm, listens carefully, and responds thoughtfully. Who do you think earns more respect? The person who can control their emotions will always stand out as a leader. The good news is that self-discipline can be built over time. Start small. Focus on one area of your life where you want to improve and commit to consistent effort. Celebrate your progress, even if it's slow, and don't be too hard on yourself when you slip up. The key is to keep going. When you cultivate self-discipline, you're not just improving yourself, you're showing others that respect starts with responsibility. Show gratitude and reciprocity. Respect isn't something you demand, it's something you give. Confucius believed that respect is a two-way street. If you want to be respected, show respect first. At the heart of this idea is gratitude. Confucius taught that appreciating what you have, whether it's friendships, opportunities, or simple kindness, creates a stronger, more connected life. People who are grateful stand out because they recognize the value in others and express it openly. But gratitude alone isn't enough. Confucius emphasized reciprocity, the idea that kindness should be returned, not ignored. If someone helps you, help them in return. If someone treats you with respect, give them the same in kind. This simple practice strengthens relationships and builds trust. Think about how the world would change if everyone followed this principle. Instead of expecting things without effort, people would contribute, support each other, and strengthen their communities. It's not about keeping score, it's about creating a culture where respect and kindness grow. Confucius believed that true leadership begins with gratitude and generosity. If you uplift others, they will remember. If you respect others, they will respect you. This is how respect is truly earned, not through force, but through actions that show you care. Let's quickly recap. Humility teaches us to respect others first. The golden rule reminds us to treat others how we want to be treated. Lifelong learning keeps us growing. Leading by example inspires trust. Patience helps us endure challenges with grace. Self-discipline starts change from within. Being and meaning your word ensures trust. Being fair, just and thoughtful in speech shows wisdom and care. Now, these lessons don't require you to be perfect or to change overnight. It's all about small, consistent steps. Maybe today, you start by listening a little more. Tomorrow, you might focus on being patient in a stressful moment. Bit by bit, these habits become part of who you are. And as they do, you'll notice something incredible. People start to respect you not just for what you do, but for the kind of person you are. If these teachings made you think or inspired you, let me know in the comments. Which lesson will you start with? And don't forget, respect isn't something you demand, it's something you earn, one choice at a time. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the wisdom of Confucius. I hope his teachings bring as much value to your life as they've brought to mine. Until next time, remember, the path to respect starts with you.